Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, please consider subscribing. Welcome to the Dark Gang. Today I will be talking about Biggie. I have a story to tell. Let's go. Biggie, I Have a Story to Tell is a Netflix original film that covers the life of Christopher Wallace, who we know as the Notorious B.I.G., who died 24 years ago come next week, that's March 9th. It includes a lot of archival footage which was shot by Biggie himself through the camcorder which he had. He was quite a bit of a vlogger, as we would call it now, but he was documenting a lot of stuff back then. It also comprises of a lot of interviews with his family, with close friends, and it makes up for something that's quite special and quite immersive, I would say. It also uncovered a lot of facts that I personally did not know about Biggie, such as the fact that he used to visit Jamaica every summer as a little boy when he was growing up. Now, in terms of how his story was told this time, and we've seen a lot of biopics about his life, it tried to do a very hard job, which was trying not to put his life in a very tragic sense. Now, if you know the story of Biggie, you know how hard of a life he used to have, from being left with a single mother at the age of 2, to having to hustle on Fulton Street in his mid-teens, to finally breaking in the music scene at a very young age, and his death, which is the most tragic thing that ever happened to him. One of the things that really shocked me was he was actually training to be a jazz musician, and his tutor was interviewed in this movie. It was almost like Biggie had this ability with relation to the jazz, because there were certain percussion instruments he would use to frame his flow, which was very creative but an incredibly hard thing to do. It's not something people go out of their way to learn and actually try to adapt into their scene. And in this case, trying to adapt jazz into rap, doing it through instruments, that was a little frightening, honestly. But frightening in a good way. You do see how much of an intelligent person he was with respect to this, and it is said that he was quite a sponge at a very early age for the things of music and what he wanted to do eventually. Now, having watched it, I can tell you for a fact that you are going to bop your head a number of times watching this, because they feature in a lot of his music. And you do know, if you do know Biggie's work and his music, you know he had this undeniable flow and rhyming, which was just, it's a bit scary to me to think about. You can actually see him do it in freestyle sessions that are caught on camera. You can see him do it in rap battles, one of which happened, which was the one that broke his career wide open, was the rap battle he had on the street with Supreme. It was quite staggering to see someone like Supreme, who seemed like he was becoming established in the game, coming up to a youngster Biggie, who is this 6'3" monster mammoth of a man, and just who pretty much decimates him on the floor, like on the spot. Now, his story with the Junior Mafia was very well documented, and it's his childhood friends who he's picked up and is trying to help along the way, who are part of his crew. And it's a very touching story of community, because you see that there are people that genuinely want to succeed. There are people trying to help each other to get to where they need to be, to get off the streets, to make a better life, and doing what they have to do to get there. Now, in talking about that, you also see some of the bad decisions he made, particularly with selling illicit substances, all in an effort to get to where he needed to be, or where he wanted to be, to get off the streets. His friendship with Big O, who actually was his best friend, was also covered, as well as the death which did hit him very hard. Now, his story with Tupac Shakur was something I was looking out for, and it does show up, and it's not extensively covered, but it gives you the vital points of the story in respect to Biggie, and how much he was actually blamed for that initial shooting of Tupac in front of his studio before his actual death, which apparently hit Biggie so hard, even though they were not on the best of terms at the time of his death, apparently. And we also do learn that in his effort to make things right, it's actually what led to his death, because he was gunned down in LA, which was territory of the West Coast rappers and Tupac. It's hard to see young rappers go. I mean, in recent memory, we've seen that of Juice WRLD, Rust His Soul, and XXX Tentacion. And you see these guys, Tupac and Biggie, going out at 25 and 24. And being close to that age, it hits me a little hard, because I'm like, wow. At their ages, having accomplished so much, and going off when they probably had years ahead of them. I'm one of the people that actually thinks that had he still been alive, he would have found a way to adapt, because Biggie was very smart. This movie also covers the backstory of Ready to Die, the album which I personally thought was very uncomfortable, and is a sentiment that P. Diddy actually echoes, or Diddy as he's referred to now. I mean, it's hard to keep track of his name sometimes. And Diddy does echo that sentiment that it was quite an uncomfortable album to listen to, because some of the songs on that thing were dark, if not all of them, particularly Ready to Die. There's this one infamous line that he delivers where he's dissing his mom, his wife, his child at the time, and it's like he's ready to die. And after he comes out of the recording booth, is confronted in a very friendly way, like, yo, did you really say that? And he's like, no, I didn't mean that. It's just an extension of how I feel. It came across as one of those more natural moments rather than something he actually sat down and said, because no one in their right mind would actually say what he said to his mom, like in the song. So Biggie, I have a story to tell. What did you think about it? Have you seen it yet? If you haven't, or if you have, please do leave a comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to interact with you. You can follow me on my socials at JAndyAdo on Twitter and Instagram. You can subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. I will see you guys in the next one. This is March Madness, and I haven't said this yet, but this is March Madness. So what I'm going to be doing is over the next month, I will be releasing a video every day, or actually at least a video every day, to engage with you guys and to bring you good content. So definitely do enable your notifications for that, because I will be posting every day. Anyway, this is Darkman Kpakpa. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Darkman out.